Hello everybody, I am Fuzzy Face and welcome back to another game on Motorsport Manager. We're going to be trying something a little bit new today. The new downloadable content has come out. The Motorsport Manager Challenge Pack has come out. It has also come along with a new patch, and unfortunately that new patch has killed my Haas game for the time being. I did try and record an episode of that earlier. When I get to the race, it actually just kills the game. It says, I can't actually quite remember what it says, but it says because we've got a mod that isn't actually part of the game, not from the Steam Workshop, it has actually killed the game. I can't actually run a race, so whether I can get that fixed or not, I'm not sure. So it might be the end of the Haas career. If it's not, we'll get back to that. If it is, we'll continue with the challenges, and at some point we'll start with a new game where we create our own team. But for now, this game here, this Haas Formula Racing game, is over and done with. But anyway, the new patch is out. The new patch does seem quite well, so it's a shame we couldn't actually get it working with the Haas game. But anyway, the patch does add realistic AI game. You can actually turn that on through the preferences. Through here, you can actually come here and turn it on, so you can get realistic pit stops from the AI teams, which is going to be good from now on. It also adds the running wide and the chance of corner cutting, so you can now run wide and corner cut on all tracks. So, and there's more chance of that happening if they're under pressure from another car. You can also weight strip before the race, adding performance to the car at the risk of reducing your reliability. There's new lap chart screens to go through after the race, and there is also an expanded camera preference, which is basically the zoom mod, although it doesn't go in as far as the zoom mod did. Anyway, there's a ton of stuff. You can rest injured drivers before races. You can sit them out for the race weekend, bring in your reserve driver if they're injured to help them recover more quickly. But anyway, we're going to get in and see what these new challenges are. So what we got, we can only do the rookie level at the moment. We've got MM Challenges Pro level, MM Challenges All-Star level. These are locked at the moment until we've actually done some of the rookie level ones. So I think we're going to start off, I think we'll start doing these in order, because a couple of these are one race. We've got fighting for 5th, which is, it's the last race of the season. You've got to finish 5th or higher. Up in Flames, which is one of the ones that they announced, which is the Rossini team, the Ferrari team. The I think it's yeah, Wexler gets involved in a crash and he's injured, so you've got to try and win the championship still, or something like that, with your best driver injured. Breaking Point, this season has been a titanic battle between two teammates, Margate and Pereira. Now on the 7th race of the season, Margate has a problem. The car's brakes are starting to fail. The point at which Margate's pits will be the key decision on who takes home the Guildford Honours. So that's going to be an interesting race. And then we've got this one, Daddy's Boy, which is, you have a chairman who's placed his son, who's not really that great, into the #1 seat, and you've got to have a winning season whilst keeping the chairman happy with his son. But anyway, we're going to jump into the first challenge, which is Sprinkler Savvy. So let's just give this a quick read. This season's controversial introduction of race sprinklers has taken most of the teams by surprise. Even with a back of the table car, an adaptable driver and a respectable pit crew, Dragon Race Team have looked into first place in the team's championship. With one race left, the chairman wants one of his drivers to place 3rd or above to solidify Dragon's ascent to greatness. So Dragon Race Team start off in the European Racing League. So I'm guessing we've got reverse grid order. So if we're sort of high up the order, we will be starting at the back of the grid in this race. So let's just quickly get onto this. We'll load this challenge up. We've got another little overview of the race. So it's pretty much everything we've been through so far. So we're getting straight into this race. So we're 19th. And Chu is in 16th. So this is the European Race Series. So that means the grid order is reversed. So Tang must be 2nd in the championship, and Chu must be 5th. The two, I think, yeah, the Garuda cars. I'm trying to get my head around this. It's been a while since I've actually played with the European Series. But the two Garudas are there, and are below. What is he in? Is that an Eastwood? Oh, it actually says a team name now when you actually go on here. It didn't actually used to say the team name, did it? I don't think it actually used to say the team name there. So now it says the team name now. So our Dragon Race Team. So we're here. I don't know how long it's actually going to be until the sprinklers come on. So what I think we're going to have to do is, we're starting out on softs here, is go for the hardest compound tyre that we can go for when we actually have to make the first pit stop. Because this is the European Racing Series, you are forced into making 2 pit stops with the way the 40-kilogram fuel tanks work. So we do know we have to make 2 pit stops during this race. So that is what we're going to have to do here. So let's just see what we can do. Actually, let's get things turned up here. Because what we've actually got with the new patch is that the tyre wear, the tyre temperatures actually play a little bit more of an important part during the race now. If you run too hot for too long, you won't get blistering on the tyres. Oh, and what happened here? And this is what happens on the patch. We've actually got cars actually running wide here. There's actually a little bit of a touch, but look at that. This one's run really wide. Cavalcanti has run really wide here. So that is something that's new for this patch. We actually got to see it pretty early on here, but Tang has got himself up into 18th at least. Chu is up in 16th. So what do we... Right, as we were saying, I got confused then by those cars running wide. If you run your car with tyre temperatures too hot for too long, you won't get blistering on the tyres as in real life, which will affect the tyre wear rates over the rest of the race, whether you get it back to optimum temperature or not. The same can be said is for running too cold and picking marbles up. That will take a long time to get those marbles off the car. So tyre wear rates, the temperatures, it does make quite a big difference in this game now, but hopefully we've got to aim for third or above in this race. We've got Chu pretty high up. We're trying to get the temperatures of these tyres to the optimum temperature. We're pushing the fuel quite a bit here, but we might go back down to high. I think we've got to be careful with a few of these parts, because Chu's car's a little bit more reliable. As we can see, the engine of Tang is a little bit lower, so we've got to look after that engine of Tang here. So mainly, I'm guessing Chu's going to be the main one that we can get into the top 3, because we can't really have Tang push that much. Otherwise, well, we might as well risk him, because it doesn't really matter. We're not really playing this game for points. We're just playing to get one of these cars up into the top 3. But Chu is going through this order pretty well here, but we've got both Garudas almost in front of us, and that's a big lock up there from Chu. Drops down to 77%. These tyres are in the optimum range, so we'll go pushing a little bit longer. The temperature of the track is only 6 degrees, so it's going to be really hard for these tyres to get a lot of temperature in them. They're going to even drop at medium. They're going to start dropping down here, so hopefully we've got Chu in 12th. We've got a Garuda behind us who's got a problem with his car. It looks like he's caused a collision. It looks like he's got a drive-through penalty as Jar, which is going to work in our favour. So we're going to see Jar pull away into the pits for his drive-through penalty. We've got Chu out in front on the soft tyre. Tang, his tyres are getting a little bit hot, so we're going to go back to neutral on him. Chu, meanwhile, is starting to get through this order a little bit, so we might have him... Oh, I was going to say we'll have him pushed to get past these couple of cars, but we're going to have him pushed now because we've got... Who's that? Dreyfus, Claudia Dreyfus, right behind him. We're going to have him pushed just to get away from those couple of cars, because Beauchamp and Arbeloa, our main competition for this race. If we want to finish higher than third, they're going to be our main competition. We're going to see if we can make the move on Arbeloa here. It doesn't look like it. And we do. We get past Arbeloa there. So we're going to go back. Now we're going to look after these tyres, because as I said, we're going to go onto this medium tyre after this soft tyre, because you can do a lot more laps on it. Just so we can go to the point where the sprinklers start to work, because I'm not quite sure how they work. I'm wondering if they're going to come on towards the end of the race, but we're doing pretty well already. We're up into 5th place already here. Tang, we might as well have him push a little bit more here. Getting pushed. We've got quite a lot of... Well, we can't actually do that with Tang, can we? Because what's his engine like at the moment? 62. We'll keep him high. We've got a lot of fuel left here, so we might as well push with the fuel as well. Push on these tyres, because we're going to get in for the mediums. We'll get us in 3 laps to 7 laps into 18. Hopefully the rain's going to start by then, or the sprinkles are going to come on by that point. At the moment, we're currently battling with the Predator car. We managed to get past Anis Santa Anna. We've only got Beauchamp in front in the Garuda, so we're on course for a 2nd place at the moment. Mella and El Sadat are in worse cars. Or maybe not worse cars, because we are the Dragon Race team. It's not the best car overall. But we're still trying to just burn off some fuel here. Is what we're really trying to do. We're just sort of leaving Tang to his own devices, because Chu is going to be our best bet at getting the car into the top 3. Tang doesn't really have a chance of that, so we're going to really sort of concentrate on what Chu is doing here. We've got El Sadat in front. We don't want to... And El Sadat runs wide. Look at that, really wide. Totally messes up there, and we've already got... We've managed to get past Beauchamp as well. So we're already seeing come into effect running wide and cutting corners in this series. So I'm guessing it happens a lot more with these lower drivers, because their smoothness stat and their concentration and so on and so forth is a lot lower than in the higher races. So you're going to see it a lot more the lower down you start, I would feel. We're still trying to burn up some rubber here. We can do another lap on this. We're still trying to burn up fuel. Not really trying to burn up rubber. Tyre temps are pretty low. Great, now I have to stare at the back of Cavalcanti's car. There's supposed to be more radio messages in this game now on, so we're going to fuel up. We might as well fuel to the top just to see when this rain is going to start. Beauchamp is on the medium tyre, so he can go a lot longer than us here. There's no sign of the sprinkles coming on yet as we reach lap 7. Well, we're on lap 8. And we're not really losing any performance at the moment, even though the tyre has pretty much run out, although we're on the 20% now. So we're going to push it to the pits. We're pulling away from Beauchamp. We're going to go into push mode. We're going to go into high mode out of the pits. Everything's looking fine here. Everything's looking fine for Tang, although he's got to come in this lap. He overtakes Chu now, but he's going to have to make his pit stop coming for these medium tyres. You might as well fuel him up for the top as well. His engine's holding together, even though it started off pretty low, so he's going to be able to go a little bit further. Chu, meanwhile, is not that far behind his teammate here, 26. We've got in front of... No, we haven't. Beauchamp has stayed out, so we might as well push whilst Beauchamp's in the pits for a lap. Whilst he's out, he's going to have to come in this lap, is he? We're going to have to try and cut this gap to Beauchamp if we can. And see if we can stay in front of him once the pit stops are out of the way. We're actually gaining at the moment. We've picked up about a second. Although we don't want to push too much because we want to try and hold on to this tyre as long as we can until we know when the rain is coming. So we can't really do it any more than that. We do want to run at least 10 laps hopefully from here. We'll get Tang pushing. Well, we can't actually have him push. Keep pushing him on the fuel when we know we can't. So we're already back up into 4th place here. Melo has managed to get back out in front of us. We're falling behind Beauchamp again. He's still out on the track on this really warm pair of medium tyres. So we're on course for 3rd place here, which is good to know. Beauchamp, he stayed out once again on his really warm pair of medium tyres. So we're going to see what happens to him. We've got Arbeloa behind us, starting to challenge us here. We might have to start pushing on here because he's really pushing his pair of medium tyres that he's on at the moment. Maybe we should start to do that again. Although it's going to be hard if the rain starts around lap 20. Then we're going to have to come in and make another pit stop before then, which is really what we don't want to do. At the moment, we're just nice and comfortable in this 3rd place, which would get us through this challenge. And Beauchamp is in the pits, but he's going to be in and out before we get around. Is he? Have we got him? We've got him. We've managed to get past Beauchamp here. Right, so we're going to turn everything back down, although Beauchamp is going to be on the charge now. As you can see, we've now got live drivers champions. So as you can see, Dragon Race Team, we are top of the championship standings. Chu and Tang are 3rd and 4th respectively. And this as well, you get a nice new mini tyre history now as well, which shows you how many laps you did on each stint, on each set of tyres. It's going to be pretty interesting if we start up another career. It's going to be nice to be able to have that information going forward. But 2nd place here is not too bad. We're on the edge of running hots, but medium. Running in medium should get us back down because the track temperature even is really low here. We're chasing down Melo at the moment. I don't think we're going to be able to get anywhere close to him unless we can do something once the sprinkles start. Maybe we can run it in backup mode for a little bit. Try and save some of this tyre because I'm not sure when the rain is going to start. But we've got a couple of cars that could challenge us queuing up behind us. So let's go back to medium now. We've got the tyres back down right to the middle. We've only got about 5 laps of fuel left as well, so we're going to have to go medium as well. We're going to end up losing these places at some point. Come on, sprinklers. We don't have the fuel to go too far in this race. Tang is holding on though. Tang could be our next best option. He's making some nice moves here. Got himself up into 9th. With us not actually doing up to him. Whilst Chu is hanging on to 2nd place here. He's got an Eastwood car and a Garuda hanging on behind him. What car is Melo actually in here? Melo is in the silver racing car. He do actually have a quite good car. But Beauchamp and Arbeloa are battling with each other. Has helped us a little bit. Right, come on. We just need to stay in front here. When are these race sprinklers going to come on? Because we are going to run out of fuel before that actually happens. Hopefully it happens pretty soon. Tang, those tyres are getting hot again, so we're going to go back down to neutral. Tang's fine. He's got a lot of fuel left. It's just because Chu started out on the soft tyres. We had to pit a lot earlier than the other cars did. Although Arbeloa's run through his tyres already as well. These mediums can get pretty low, as we saw from Beauchamp. We can. It's just a fuel situation though. That is a problem here. We do have a lot of tyre wear left, so we're going to have to start pushing this tyre to sort of get it to tie it up with the fuel. Might as well push for a few laps and try and get a little bit of a gap going here. Though it's not going to be that much of a gap. And come on, rain. Or sprinklers even. Just want those sprinklers to come on. And it doesn't look like they're going to come on anytime soon. I don't know if we get any warning when they're going to come on, or whether they just come on. Whether we've just got to try and look out for them coming on. We can only go another 2 laps now. That is all we can do. So we can go high mode at least. But we can only do another 2 laps. I'm going to have to end up making a pit stop. We are in first place because Melo has had to come in for a pit stop himself. Oh, come on. Here's the rain. Ah, there we go. Sprinklers are on. So it looks like it's going to get wet. So we can stay out for another 2 laps from this point. So it looks like the track's going to get wet. So we might as well try and hang on for... Well, we can do another lap, can't we? Right, so we're going to push now into the pits. If we come on to inters, it's going to get wet in a few laps. It's going to get fully wet though, so we can't really go intermediate. It's not going to be worth it. So we're gonna risk it and go for the wet tyres here. We're going to fuel up as much as we can, so we've got some room to push if we want. Although the engine's going as well. So we've had a few cars pit. Yeah, Roger's gone on for the wets. So the AI is going for the wets at this stage. So the wet tyre is the right one to go for. Whereas we can keep Tang out on track for a little bit longer, because the slick tyre should be a lot better than the wet tyre on the track as it is at the moment. But hopefully we can get Chew around. Hopefully he's not going to lose too much time on this wet tyre. Although he should be on the wet tyre for a little bit whilst the other cars are on the wrong tyre when the track gets to the right point. He's got enough of a gap over Melo. It looks like Arbeloa already made his pit stop. He's already on the wet tyre. So third place should be achievable here. Whether we can keep this first place or not, that is the question. Right, so we've got Chew coming out of the pits. We do have to look after this tyre, I feel. Melo has gone through, but Melo does have to make a pit stop to get onto a wet tyre at some point. Is he actually going to be pulling away from us here? Let's actually get a little bit of heat into these tyres. He is pulling away, so he's on the right tyre at the moment. These medium tyres are pretty much going of Tang, but we're going to keep him out as long as we can, because these are still the sort of right tyre to be on over the wets at the moment. Although, what's he like? Where is he on the track at the moment? He is in 5th. Yeah, so he's going to have to come in this lap anyway. So we might as well run him in overtake mode. He's going to come in for the wets as well. Fuel him up enough until the end of the race. So let's push him into the pits. And we've got Beauchamp in the pits already. So he's possibly pulled away enough whilst he was on the slick tyre to get out in front of us. Can he? No, we've actually got out in front. We're actually out in front here. Although Beauchamp is going to be really pushing on this tyre. So we're going to have to sort of respond to what he's going to be doing here. Tang, meanwhile, is coming into the pits. Decent pit stop from him. We're going to have him push just for a little bit of a lap. Come on, Tang, get out of the pits. I'll have him push for a little bit here. So Chew is flying away. No, he's not. Beauchamp's coming back here. What is Beauchamp doing here? He's not really pushing his fuel at the moment. So we're going to turn things down a little bit, because we sort of want to look after this tyre. We don't want it getting too hot. So can we hold on to first place here? I think we've definitely achieved a challenge of finishing 3rd or above. Whether we can keep first or not, that is another question. Tang, meanwhile, I don't think we're going to get him any higher. We've sort of got to look after his engine as well. Although he's actually done a really good job of looking after his engine. It's Chew's engine which actually gone down a lot more, even though he started off with his reliability a lot higher. So we might not be able to run in high mode for too long with him. Beauchamp is still really pushing his tyres. We can't really respond to that. We will respond as he makes a slight mistake on that corner. And then we'll go back to medium. So that is the running wide there. He tried to make an overtake move. It didn't work out for him. He had to drop off. He's going to start storming back at us now. And we're going to start defending once again. We're going to go try attack again. We're right on the edge of it being the tyre wear being too hot, but race sprinkler's still active, so it's going to get wet and then go back down again. Yeah, so the wet tyre was the right tyre to go for. It's going to get fully wet in about a lap or so. This track at the moment's on the borderline still for the intermediates, but there's going to be about 3 laps where the wet tyre is the most effective, so that's why everyone went for wets. And these tyres getting really hot now, so we're going to run back up for a tiny little bit, go back into neutral. What is Beauchamp doing? He's still really pushing all out. I don't think we're going to be able to hold this Garuda car off for too much longer, but he's going to have to turn those down at some point, I would feel. As we see, he made a mistake on that last bit of the race, went off. He's coming back once again. Doesn't look like he's going to get us. No, he's not. Tang, meanwhile, still behind El Sadat in, what car is he driving? The Archer. He's still well behind us. So Tang is 6th, so we're just going to concentrate on Chu now. We know we can just leave Tang to do his own thing. Chu, meanwhile, is what we like for tyres. 7 laps, 5 laps remaining in the race. So we do have some excess fuel to push this, but the engine is getting pretty low. And Beauchamp tries to make a move. It looks like he's going to get it this time. We're going to go overtake. We're going to try keep him off on this corner. We'll push out of that corner. The tyre's getting a little bit too hot, but we'll just try to keep Beauchamp away from us. Here we go. Chu, first place still. Can we hold off Beauchamp here? It looks like it could happen. 4 laps remaining. He's going to get us at some point. But he's really struggling to get past us. He's making a dive up the inside. We've got back markers now. We're going to affect the race. Oh no, we got slowed down by the back marker. As if. Chu had done a really good job defending there, but Beauchamp makes use of the back markers, shoots up the inside. Disappointing. He's going to be able to run away with this now because he's in the faster car. He's got the slightly fresher tyres. As we see, we still see him running away. Maybe we can come back. These tyres are going to last until the end of the race. Can we just push from this point forward? Because we're not really too bothered about the tyre wear rates from this point in. And we do have some fuel. So Sam, can we start coming back at Beauchamp even if we push all out? Is it going to be good enough from this point forward? We might as well risk everything to try and get first place. We've achieved the objective of 3rd or above, although Arbeloa and Mela are still pretty close. No, we're still losing time here, so we might as well just hang on to make sure we don't finish below 3rd. We're just going to hang on to this 2nd place now until the end of the race. Look at our tyres now, really hot. I'm going to try to cool those down just so they don't start blistering. I don't know if you get a notification if they start blistering or whether it just happens. But we're on to the final lap now. We're back on that borderline so we can go back to neutral. Jar retired in the other Garuda. Must have been pretty early on that. But as you can see, the mini tyre history, you get a nice breakdown of what everyone's done on each tyre. Yeah, so here we go. Chu is going to finish round about here. Melo is lapping quicker than us at the moment. Is he really pushing things on this last lap? You might as well push at this point, so we've got excess of everything, excess tyre and excess fuel. We're going to grab 2nd place here, complete the challenge. There we go, 2nd place. Tang, his tyres are hot. Just wanted to see whether we do get a notification about the blistering. It doesn't look like you do, although I don't think they've blistered just yet. And there we go, he actually ran out of fuel right at the end there. 6th place for Tang, but we completed the challenge. 2nd place. I feel we could have held on to 1st place there because Beauchamp was having a hard time getting past us, but he got the opportunity to get past us as we had to slow down coming up behind a back marker. But 2nd place, that gets us through this challenge, the European Racing Series. So what are the new things that we get? We get actual lap charts which show you how you do during the race. So what happened there? What does that mean? The eye. Does it actually tell us what happened? Green flag. I can't actually see what that says. Oh, events, pit stop. Events. So that was when we locked up. So we lost some time from locking up there, it looks like. Or maybe that's a bit slower because it was the last lap. And that one is a pit stop as well. So you get to see it actually tells you what you were doing throughout the lap. So like that lap we did 83% in high mode, 6% in overtake mode, and the quickest lap here was 100%, whilst the tyre wear was at 74%, fuel at 7.5. So what we were doing that lap, we were actually all out pushing from there. That's why we were going slower, even though the fuel load was going down. We started pushing again, did we? Or yeah, we pushed on that lap. 2.5. What did we do? A 134, and we did a 134.6. So was this the fastest lap overall there? So that is pretty interesting information, and we get a nice gap to leader set as well. So here is where we were leading. Gap to leader. Yeah, so a lot of pretty interesting things that have been added. Everything else is the same with the new patch. So it's just a shame that it killed the Haas game. As I said, we're not going to be able to go back to the Haas game unless I can get it fixed. But we might start a new series with our own team with no mods on it all. So we know once patches come out, if another patch does come out, it's not going to mess up the game. But I don't know if you actually get any reward for winning or completing the challenge. So we'll just go through this. John's dossier got a drive-through penalty. Obviously John's daughter, surname means. So second overall. Yep. Won the title. MN challenges. Congratulations. Reward unlocked. Player accessory available for new career. Reward unlocked. You've unlocked the zombie face type. Right, so I guess that means when we create a new character now, we can play it as a zombie. Interesting. But anyway, so we've unlocked that reward. Difficult, easy. So yeah, so not too bad there. Pretty interesting challenge. The sprinkler system is quite interesting. So it'll be interesting to see if we do start a new game, whether that gets brought into any of the levels of racing at any point during our next career. So next time we've got fighting for 5th place. It's the last race of the WNC. Chapman can secure the Drivers' Championship without even getting on the podium. However, so I'm guessing we're going to be starting... It's going to start like a lap into the race and we're going to be pretty far behind. But I'll try to get this one done for tomorrow. I'm going to try and get the Haas series fixed. If I can't, I'll update everyone tomorrow on what is happening with that series. But we'll be back definitely with another challenge tomorrow. But anyway, hope you've enjoyed the new video. Challenge, it's a little bit of a change of pace. Interesting race. It's going to be interesting on this next one. I do actually like these challenges, so hopefully they're going to keep adding a few more to it. Maybe they'll try to bring out another downloadable content for it, but hopefully they're going to add a few more than this. I think there's 12 overall. But anyway, that was interesting. So anyway, if you're not already subscribed and you want to see more of these challenge videos that are coming up, hit that subscribe button down below. Give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Any and all of the usual razzmatazz even. But until next time, I'll see you down road for the second challenge, and goodbye.